Welcome to the Beaver County Football Game of the Week and our pregame show. It's brought to you by Hidden Valley Four Seasons Resort and by Ron Klink, your citizen in Congress.
This is Darlington Stadium, home of the three-time defending WPIAL AAA champion Cougars of Blackhawk, tonight hosting their Parkway Conference rivals, the Bobcats of Beaver. Welcome, everyone, to Friday Night High School Football. I'm John Sanders. We get set for our pregame show with a look at the visiting team, first of all, the Beaver Bobcats. They opened strong with a big win in their opening game, but they have lost their last three. You look at this team that returned only 4 starters for 1994, and in addition, it is a very small AAA school. That's the Bobcats of Beaver. Meantime, the Cougars of Blackhawk are off and flying once again. They are undefeated again this year. This is a terrific team that is 3 shutouts to show for itself so far. They are 27-3 over the past 2 years, only 1 loss in conference play over the past 2 seasons. Getting ready for action this week, and as you look at these 2 teams last week, a fairly easy win for Blackhawk, a very tough loss for Beaver. Let's go back and look at the highlights from last Friday night, starting with Beaver High.
The Bobcats of Beaver in the dark jerseys were hosting the Spartans of Montour High School last Friday night. Good defense early on. Number 89, David Bigger for Montour on a reverse, but it does not fool Brian Maben. He drops him for a loss in the backfield. A little bit later, more good defense. Quarterback Gary Fisher will be sacked by number 88, Frank Kuzar, the defensive tackle. Second quarter leading 3-0. But it's Montour's number 9, Ryan Lacey, stopped on the left side after a short gain. Here he comes the other way, and it's Brody Patton to make the tackle, number 42. Their defense was very strong as Montour kept pounding away at the goal line. Ryan Lacey cannot get in. This is Brian De La Salle. He will be stopped at the goal. But finally, it's the quarterback, Gary Fisher, on a keeper, sticks his head down and scores the game's only touchdown. Montour over Beaver, 7-3 the final. Meanwhile, Blackhawk at West Allegheny. The Cougars are in the white uniforms, and their offense was in high gear. Number 48 is Sean Boo Taylor. This is an 18-yard run up the middle for a touchdown and a 7-0 lead. Jeremy Myers had a big night. This is a 3-yard touchdown run, the first of 4 that he had in the game. The extra point made it 14-0. Here's Myers again. This time it's a 5-yard touchdown run and a 21-0 lead. Then quarterback Steve Wetzel goes airborne and finds Chad Wisner. This is a 22-yard strike in the corner of the end zone and a 28-0 lead at the half. They had 321 yards rushing, did the Cougars last week in this victory at West Allegheny. There's touchdown number 3 for Jeremy Myers. One more coming up as he's into the end zone for a 4th time. It was 42-0. Then the reserves are in the 4th quarter. Brooks Canavese with a pitch to Nathan Stewart. He'll score from the 11, and the final was 48-0. Another great win for the Cougars of Blackhawk. They are 4-0 coming into tonight. And we'd like to remind you to join us every Thursday night at 7 for Coach One-on-One. Each week, the coaches you will see on Friday night's Game of the Week spend an in-depth half-hour with Randy Cosgrove. Coach One-on-One is produced by JM's Video and Productions, Beaver County's creative video production company.
As you could see on the highlight tape, and as you'll see in the game tonight, both these teams like to run the football, and they have some outstanding running backs to do it. First of all, for the Bobcats of Beaver, keep your eye on number 22, Lee Swartz. He's averaging over 108 yards per game. He's just a junior, an outstanding running back. You've seen a little bit of number 48 for the other guys, the Blackhawk Cougars, and his name is Sean Boo Taylor. He had the top rushing game in Beaver County this year when he had a 226-yard performance against Kittanning earlier on. These 2 teams getting ready for the 2nd week of conference play, and as we do every Friday night on our pregame show, let's check the results from last week, the 1st week of conference play. Aliquippa beating Mohawk 14-7 was the final score there. Charles Iacobucci passed for 101 yards in his first start for the Quips, who played without their leading rusher, Romy Strozier. North Allegheny 55, Ambridge 6. North Allegheny living up to its perennial powerhouse reputation. A solid win in the Quad A North Conference opener for both teams. Montour over Beaver, as you saw, 7-3. Beaver is 1-3 after losing its Parkway Conference opener. Moon 19, Beaver Falls 12. John Glover had 111 yards on 22 carries for the Tigers. It was Jeremy Myers, 4 touchdowns in leading the Cougars to that 48-0 win over West Allegheny. Brian Hannon, Tony Thompson each ran for over 100 yards for Center. The Center beating Laurel 17-6. New Brighton 14, Freedom 7. Quarterback Mike Holloran's 2-yard touchdown run with 1:20 left in the game kept New Brighton undefeated. Another thriller right here on Channel 66. It was Elwood City 27, Hopewell 7. Tom Bellin ran for 90 yards and 1 touchdown for the Vikings. For Cornell, 28-7 over Monaca. Brian Kramer passing for 130 yards for the Indians last week. Riverside stopped Shenango 14-6. Quarterback Mike Gatos ran for 116 yards. Riverside is undefeated. Farrell 41 and Rochester 20. Ken Mercer had 2 touchdowns for Rochester. It was Canavan 16, Southside 15. Brian Hall 13 passes, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Rams. And Western Beaver 29, Shannock 14. Ryan Prosciutti and Ryan Mayo each ran for 2 touchdowns. The Golden Beavers are undefeated. They are 4-0. But that was last week, and this is tonight. We'll hear what the 2 coaches have to say about tonight's football game when we come back with more Friday night football action right here on WBGN.
For golfers everywhere, it's the best golf package of the year at Hidden Valley Four Seasons Resort. $79 a person gives you unlimited golf on one of America's most beautiful and challenging courses, the top-rated resort course in Pennsylvania. Hidden Valley is a magnificently challenging, scenically dramatic course of exceptional character. The low rate includes unlimited golf, superb accommodations, sports club, tennis, and all of the amenities of Hidden Valley's 2,000-acre resort. Space is limited, so make your reservations now.
And I've seen congressmen come and go. I've seen governors, presidents. I'll tell you, to be real frank and get the bottom line, I've never seen a man that lived so close to his people as Ron Twain does to the people that sent him to Washington in the first place. He belongs to all of us.
WBGN TV, Channel 66, is a new independent television station, fully licensed by the FCC to serve Beaver County. WBGN TV is the only source of 24-hour news for 85,000 area viewers, currently without cable television. You're watching WBGN TV, Channel 66, Beaver County.
This is the 11th meeting between these 2 teams. The Cougars lead the series 6-2. There have been a couple of times. Beaver, by the way, was the last team to beat Blackhawk here in its home stadium, but that was 4 years ago. Pat Tarquinio was the coach then, as he has been for 29 years now. You know what a tough opponent you're going up against, too, because they've given you a pretty rough time the last 3 years.
Oh, there's no question. Blackhawk is one of the best teams in the state, let alone the WPIAL. We know what we're facing.
What do you like so far about your team, and what kind of progress have you seen, despite the fact that you've lost 3 in a row?
Well, we like the fact that we are improving with each game. I think our defense has begun to come around a little bit better than as we hoped it would. And offensively, we have been able to move the ball, despite the fact we haven't been able to score points, maybe because our defense hasn't done quite as well in the early going. But we feel that we are making some progress.
What is going to be the key for you tonight in this game?
Well, the key is we hope that we can play good defense and hope we can move the ball. That's our game. We hope we can move the football offensively, but defensively is the key. We need to be able to try to contain Blackhawk as much as we can. That's going to be quite an assignment.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right, we've talked to one head coach, now stepping in is Joe Hamilton. Congratulations, your team is off to another great start. I'm not sure you expected it to be quite this overwhelming, did you, at this point?
Well, not at all. We really didn't expect to be in the position we're in right now. We still have a very, very inexperienced team, particularly on our line, where we start 4 juniors, and they did not play at all last year. Matter of fact, 2 of them only played half a year with injuries. But they got in the weight room, did an excellent job. Came back, but we are, where our strength is in our running backs. They are upperclassmen, and they're very solid, and they're keeping us together right now.
I'm not sure what people expected to see offensively with no Weaver at quarterback after 4 years.
We didn't know what we'd expect. We thought two candidates really fighting for the position. One of them came up with a bad elbow, so Wetzel was the guy from day one. He had to do it one way or the other, and I am so proud of this young man because he's worked so hard and he's pulled things together and he's held his team together and come up with big plays for us when we need him, and just very proud with the way he has come along, and he's certainly, I don't think we're missing Weavers right now.
But obviously the key to your offense are those two fine running backs.
No question about it. Actually, three running backs. You know, when you had Chad Wisner, Chad is an excellent runner. He comes out of a crowd, so he just amazes me sometimes. But you have him as a counter play, and you have him to keep people honest, and then you come back with Myers and Taylor, and they're two excellent running backs, block very well for each other, encourage each other, and they're just two very fine young men as well.
You're the defending three-time champions in AAA. You're ranked number 2 right now in the latest rankings, and if you believe the papers, you're at least a 2-touchdown favorite. How do you hold things in check for your team for a game like this?
That's hard, you know. Sometimes you wonder why you won 3 championships. You know, it's just that our kids, I think, have a great work ethic about them. And coming into this year, it was very easy to remind them that last year in the 5th ball game, a Hopewell team who was probably not as good as us beat us very badly because we came in with a very lackadaisical attitude. So all week long, we've been stressing that this is week number 5, and also we're playing Beaver, a big rivalry who is getting better and better and has always given us a tough, hard-nosed ball game.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, John.
Coach Joe Hamilton has joined us, also Pat Tarquinio. We certainly appreciate their help because they're ready for football, and so are we. This is homecoming tonight at Blackhawk High School. That means a lot of activity down on the field, and that's where we'll find Keith James when we come back. Stay with us. High school football about ready to begin on Channel 66.
For over 50 years, Bames Pharmacy has been the Midland area's complete pharmacy. From its modern computerized facility, Bames can provide all of your prescription needs. Bames also carries a wide variety of greeting cards, gifts, candy, health and beauty aids, jewelry, healthcare equipment, and much, much more. Open 7 days a week, Bames features free delivery. That's Bames Pharmacy, for 3 generations serving the Midland area.
Career opportunity can find those who are in the right place and on the right path. Community College of Beaver County is the place for career opportunities. Air traffic control, avionics, professional piloting, aerospace management. 4 nationally acclaimed aviation programs are included in Community College of Beaver County's 28 career choices. The sky's the limit for career opportunities at Community College of Beaver County. Your place to begin.
Coming up next, it's the Beaver County Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Hidden Valley 4 Seasons Resort and by Ron Klink, your citizen in Congress. Ready for our Friday night Game of the Week here at Darlington Stadium on WBN. Beaver and Blackhawk. Last year was the Cougars winning 35-14. In 92 they won 48-12. In 91 it was 42-14. You go back to 1990 right here on this field. Beaver won 13-12, and that's the last time Blackhawk has lost at home. Keith James is back with us tonight. He was not here last week because Ian Michael James came into the world, all 7 pounds 4 ounces. Wife Colleen, Ian gave Keith permission to rejoin us tonight, so we're glad to have him back and down on the field trying to get a handle on this thing. Keith, welcome back.
Thank you very much, John. One of the big questions tonight will be whether or not I can stay awake during the course of the game. Ian's kept me up. But, of course, it'll be an exciting contest to stay really in touch with tonight. There will be a major question, and that question will involve this little spheroid right here and whether or not we will see much of this, John. Fumbles and turnovers, because last week in Blackhawks' big win, they had 5 turnovers go their way. For Beaver last week, unfortunately, they had 3 go against them. That really could be a key in tonight's game because they'll be smacking heads, no question, in this second AAA Parkway Conference matchup. Back to you.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. We do hope you're able to stay awake. The captains are ready to come to the center of the field. We'll be hearing from our referee tonight, Rich Zelenko. The umpire is Warren Schwab. The linesman is Ross Click, and the line judge is Tom Nolan. Chris Donardo will be the back judge of the officiating crew on homecoming night for Blackhawk High School, the 3-time defending AAA champions in WPIAL, currently ranked number 2. The captains are coming to the center of the field for the toss of the coin. For Blackhawk is Chad Wisner and Sean Taylor.
You can't wear those gloves, son. They have to have a tag on them now.
And as you can hear, they are discussing some of the equipment that has been brought to the center of the field.
There's one there they have one with NCAA, but that's
there's nothing on these gloves.
Checking out some gloves.
Okay, gentlemen, before we get on with the game here, what we're going to have is a little discussion on what we're going to do tonight. We're going to play football. That's the first thing. You understand that, okay? And the whole thing is we want to keep it to football and football alone. None of this jazz that goes on with the finger pointing, no taunting and none of that jazz, okay? Play football, hit the heck out of each other, and have yourselves a good time. You're the captain for the home team. You're the captain going to speak for the visiting club. That's a coin, and that's the head, and that's a tail. Tail and a head.
Josh Kisling is number 51.
Loud enough for the umpire to hear. Call it. Tails. Tails he calls. Tails it is, your choice. Which way do you want to kick? You want to defend the scoreboard and kick this way. White, step over here, please. Green, step over there. That's good. White is one to toss, then we'll receive. Green will defend.
As you heard, the visiting team, the Bobcats of Beaver, have won the toss. They will be receiving the opening kick in this football game tonight. And I think it's very important that they get the football offensively, do something with it, control it, and keep this high-powered Bobcat offense on the field and keep the Cougar defense off the field. That will be the strategy for Coach Joe Tarquinio as his troops are ready to go.
John, I think this sign down here on the Blackhawk sideline says it all. Cougar power. They're loaded with it offensively as they have the arm of their quarterback, but they got two excellent running backs. He almost doesn't have to throw because of that running power. The question is, can Beaver stop this kind of Cougar power in this big cat fight tonight?
We're going to find that out. We get ready for the football game. Back deep, Paul Thiessen is number 15. Mike Arbogast will handle the kickoff for the Cougars of Blackhawk. Also back deep, this is Brian Botsko. He does most of the returning. Botsko is deep along with Lee Swartz, and Lee Swartz is the man in the middle. It comes right down the middle. Swartz fields it at the 20-yard line. Cuts it outside at the 30. It's across the 30 near the 34-yard line before he's ridden down on the play. And down at the bottom of the pile for the Cougars was Adam Smith, number 40. Let's set that Beaver offense for the football game tonight. It's an offense that's missing a lot of starters. The Beaver offense returned just one starter. Both running backs are juniors. They do feature an outstanding punter in Jason Barnes, and the problem is he's seen too much work. They have not scored a touchdown in their last 8 quarters, but there are the starters. Leading him out is Jeff Mullen, a senior. And it's King, the fullback, Mark King, with the first carry of the night, and there's not much there. Drive beginning at the 34-yard line, and he's down right along the line of scrimmage. First possession of the night here at Blackhawk tonight. There is the defense for Blackhawk. The line average is 238 pounds. Linebacker Jeremy Myers is the top tackler on the team, followed by safety Kevin Conti. And Boo Taylor, who is definitely a Division I prospect at cornerback, has 3 interceptions so far this year.
Interesting to note early on, the size of the line of Beaver has a slight advantage.
They do have an advantage, and trying to get outside is Schwartz. He'll not get any place because he's driven back by Harry Romai. Nothing there at all offensively so far. It'll be 3rd down. He's going to pick up a yard on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 35-yard line.
John, something that the Blackhawk coaches had questioned was after last week's big win, 48-0, would there be that tendency for a letdown, thinking, gee, maybe we really are that good, but they're not going to let these Cougar players believe their publicity. I think we saw it on that defensive play. The smaller line fired in, made the stop, and it was a loss.
3rd down and 1. They're passing on 3rd down. It's just out of the reach of a diving Brian Botsko. So with that, it'll be 3 and out. It'll be 4th down coming up from the 35-yard line. So the Bobcats were not able to control the football, and that's what their coach was hoping they could do. Now we'll see Jason Barnes. We talked about his punting ability. He's one of the best in Beaver County. And Barnes is going to get a chance here, kicking to Boo Taylor. and Eric Cannon. And Taylor will be on the far side of the field. Cannon will be on this side of the field. You're looking at Cannon.
Plenty of time. Low kick.
Line drive kick fielded at the 34-yard line by Boo Taylor. He'll get about 2 on the return. The Cougars will have it for the first time. A pretty good field position at their own 36-yard line as they bring out their offensive team. Brand new quarterback Steve Wetzel taking over the controls for the Blackhawk offense. It's a big line that averages 242 pounds, anchored by 300-pound Harry Romai at left tackle. Remember, 4 of these offensive linemen are juniors. The running backs, Myers and Taylor, have combined for 15 touchdowns this year. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. First possession for the Cougars. They open with a full house backfield. It's Taylor. Down he goes at the 40-yard line. He'll pick up 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Taylor with the first carry of the night, upended near the 40-yard line. Let's talk about the Beaver defensive unit tonight. They're giving away 35 pounds per man. They returned 3 starters, but senior Brad Dixon is out for the year with a broken leg. So they've already lost 1 of their returning starters for the season. That is the group. Ball at the 40, 2nd down and 6. This time they send Taylor wide right. Wisner wide left. Split Marsilio and power straight ahead with the fullback. Bounces off 1 tackler, leans forward to within a yard of a first down. Dropped by Brian Botsko, but you see the hard running, the short yardage pyre of Jeremy Myers. Myers, a 5'10", 150-pound senior, and it's going to be 3rd and short.
John, there was great credit there to Brian Botsko. He didn't stop for anything. He had his nose to the ball. He knew where it was going. Good eyesight, kept his mind and his nose on the ball. He was able to make that stop because he could have turned the corner and broken it. As it is, here we are.
Marsilio split wide to the right. They send Chad Wisner wide left. And they keep the 2 running backs in, Myers and Taylor, behind Wetzel. You'd have to think he'll stick to the ground. He does. It's Myers leaning for a first down. He's got it. Dropped on the play by Josh Kisling, number 51. Got a little help inside from George Thomas, but it is the initial first down for either team tonight. The ball is at the 48-yard line. This field, Keith, is in beautiful condition, is it not?
John, there's no question this field is in good condition, and I'll tell you what, it's very important for Blackhawk because field condition was a key for them last week in their game. They got every break in the world and took advantage of it. We'll see if Beaver can stop them now, because if they hope to win this game at all, they must stop them here at midfield.
Myers across midfield down to the 45-yard line before he's dropped on the play. Brody Patton, the cornerback, number 42, had to come up to make the hit, but it's a nice pickup, and they continue to grind out the yardage. I mentioned 320-odd yards on the ground last week. They've now advanced it into Beaver territory.
Well, you watch the grinding, and here's the rough work, the grunt work, down in the middle, and bang, you open up. You don't have to give him much room, and he's there because he got the power. Look at his legs, and that tells you everything.
2nd down at 3, and a flag flies. First we've had tonight. And Keith, as you know from down there, that has been a problem in some of our early games. The penalty flags have been flying.
That's indeed true, John. But you know what? This now is the 5th game of the season, and it's a whole different contest now. They've got the 3 exhibitions under the way. This is the 2nd game of the Parkway Conference AAA competition. I don't think we'll see quite as many. The discipline should be set now. If you see too many flags, it's one of 2 things. Either the team is starting to break apart, or it's one heck of a rough football game.
It is 2nd down and 8 from midfield. You talk about Wetzel as a passer. He's 21 of 39 coming in with 2 touchdowns and a couple of interceptions. He's passed for 287 yards, but as Keith mentioned, with this high-powered running attack of Myers and Taylor, they don't need to throw the football a lot. This is Taylor. Gets 1 block, lowers his head, picks up about 3 on the play. Matt Hummel is in on the tackle, along with Josh Grove, a couple of the linebackers in this 4-3 formation. He'll get 2. Down to the 48, and it becomes 3rd down and 6.
On the sidelines, Steve Wetzel immediately comes over to talk with head coach Joe Hamilton and the assistants to determine just what he wants to do with here. 3rd and 6, and a good opportunity for Beaver to stay tough. Maybe we'll see Wetzel's arm air it out in this opportunity here.
Would be a good situation for it. You've got Marsilio and Wisner split to the left side. It's an option play. They go to Taylor.
looking for a block and does not get it. Slammed at the 50-yard line. He was really belted right at the 50-yard line. Coming up to make the hit was Sean Morrow. What a pop he put on him at the 50.
Morrow just had terrific penetration once again, maybe utilizing the size of the guys in front of him to pop through. You know, they're looking at containing that option. When Wetzel pitches it off, he's got to watch the guys in front of him and know that he can go outside and contain him, and he's right there, mano a mano, bang, done, and it's 4th and 8.
Joe Maloney will be kicking. Gets it away. It's Boo Taylor kicking, taken at the 20-yard line. Botsko, no place to go. He does pick up about 6 on the return, gets out across the 25 to near the 26-yard line, and that's where the Bobcats will have it for the second time. So a good start defensively on that opening drive, Keith. They held him to just 1 first down. Finally stopped him at midfield. That's a good stop for the defense.
John, I've got to mention that I think the weather might be a factor, and I'll tell you why. It's a little cooler right now. You know, we're definitely out of summer and into fall, and it's a little cooler this evening. Could be a factor because those people over there are cold, sitting on their hands. These people here are sitting on their hands. Maybe they're not into the game yet.
Schwartz, the ball carrier, gets it out to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6 coming up. Lee Schwartz is 5'11", 165-pounder. As we showed you, he's averaging over 108 yards per game. He has scored 4 touchdowns. He also scored a touchdown on a lateral play. 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the opening quarter of play. We're at Blackhawk for our Friday night game of the week, and a look at Coach Hamilton. What a great job he's done in his 19th year. Trying to sweep that time with Schwartz. He turned it up, and there's exactly what Keith James was talking about at the open, the turnover. And now a flag goes up after the play. The fumble right along the 30-yard line. We'll have to wait and see what the call is.
Well, there's no question that, as I mentioned early on, turnovers are the key, and this is the worst possible place, John, because you want to take a look where they are. See the big 3-0 out there on the field? That's the 30, just inside the 30-yard line. Terrific field possession for Blackhawk if indeed this stands up.
It is going to stand up. As a matter of fact, it's going to be an extra 15 yards. So instead of at the 30,
crucial,
you're going to be down near the 15-yard line. It was a personal foul call. So the first break of the night, the turnover goes the way of the Cougars, and they have been outstanding in that department. They are a +9 in turnovers this year. Their opponents have turned it over 14, now 15 times, and they have turned it over just 5 times. See if they try to power it in from the 15-yard line following that personal foul penalty. King and Taylor, the running backs. They're out of the power eye, and Wisner is there as well. This is Taylor. Upended as he gets down near the 12-yard line, and sticking his nose in that time again was Brody Patton, the senior.
Tell you who's going to get a lot of yardage tonight. Well, let's take a look at this replay here and just look at some really great yardage right up the middle, making the center really work. And if you can push back those bigger guys, that's a confidence builder. Can mean a lot later on as the game wears on. Of course, they're smelling pay dirt now.
2nd down, 8 from the 13-yard line. Wisner, he's got some room on that left side, heading toward the end zone, spinning into the end zone for the touchdown.
He is there.
Chad Wisner gets his 3rd rushing touchdown, his 5th touchdown of the season, and with 4:04 remaining in the opening quarter, the Cougars strike first.
Well, John, if you watch him, then it's 1, 2, and 3, and Wisner, the 3rd one through, comes. He's got the ball, and it's those freight trains in front of him in the line firing out that open things up. Nobody's sure on defense just who has it, but it's Wisner, and there was no way he was going to be denied that touchdown. Blackhawk up by 6. They're going for the extra point now.
Rognano will attempt the extra point. Gray with a hold. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. Now, this has been a bit of a problem area because of injuries to the fellows that were supposed to handle the place kicking. They're 5 games into the season and still really searching to find somebody to handle that job. But they get the touchdown, and with 4:04 remaining in the first quarter, they get the 6-point lead. And a little bit prophetic on your part, Keith, to come up with the problem of the turnovers, the problem that plagued Beaver last week and that aided Blackhawk, and it has reared its ugly head for the Bobcats already.
Well, John, thank you very much. I will take the opportunity to brag just a little bit. You know, even though I'm tired, I think great prophets always work on just a little bit of sleep. We'll see, though, there's a lot of football left, and Beaver does have some talent, but they can't turn the ball over.
Getting ready for the kickoff following the first touchdown of the night. 6-0 is the score. There is Lee Swartz. He's the deepest. The man in the middle on this return team that includes Botsko and Sean Quigley. It's a short kick. Fielded at the 31. Out to about the 37-yard line. And one of the up men reached up and grabbed that football. That was Tim Liller, who brought it back across the 35. Let's call it the 37-yard line.
Tim Liller, a junior fullback, probably would have picked up another 5 yards if he had not put his head down. But with the kicking team coming in, he just wanted to jam it and hang on to the ball.
Here's Swartz across the 40, falls forward to about the 42-yard line, and wrapped around his legs is Mike Lansbury, the 6-foot junior. Pretty good pickup on that play across to the 42-yard line. He gets about 5. Well, it's 2nd down and 5. 6-0 is our score. We're inside the 3.5-minute mark in this opening quarter of play. Mark King, the fullback, setting up in front of Lee Swartz, and they are both juniors. This is Swartz, 45, tripped up from behind as he crosses the 45-yard line.
Tell you what, John, you look at that Beaver line now, maybe they're a little fired up and utilizing their size. You see them there firing out and opening the holes like they need to. There's a little wedge system going on over there. Head coach Pat Tarquinio's got it all set up. Then a little that and a little intensity. We got a football game in our hands, and yes, that point after could become crucial.
It's 3rd down and short. Chad Wepley has just checked into the lineup. He's a junior. King leaning for that first down. He'll not get it on 3rd and 1. Stacked up by the middle of that defensive front. And it was Wepley. He just came into the lineup, Keith, who made the hit. So Wepley right in there to make the stick. Got some help from Harry Romai, all 300 pounds of him, and I think they're going to kick it away. It'll be 4th down.
Well, I don't know. This is a tough call to make, John. I'm not so sure. Of course, Pat Tarquinio, 29 years, he's seen them all, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
I won't second guess what he's deciding to do here, but there's no question this is a difficult call. You're that close, boy. But there's a lot of football left.
And the problem is you're on your side of the 50-yard line.
Exactly.
2 minutes remaining. Barnes to kick.
Wow.
Good kick.
There's an opportunity.
Bounces off the shoulder pads of Gannon, and he's down at the 15-yard line. Eric Cannon had that one bounce off his shoulder pads, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 15. A little bit different from the last time that the Cougars had the ball. They had it 1st and goal on the 15-yard line of Beaver. Took it in for a touchdown. Here he scrambles to pick it up and then goes down right at the 15-yard line. Cannot regain his footing. Doesn't really matter because they were closing in on him anyway. So he would not have gone very far. From the 15-yard line, it's 1st down 10. They open with the full house backfield. The tight end, Nick Cheeto, is tight on the left side. Marsilio is along the line as they go to the young man who scored the touchdown, and Wisner fumbles. They
fumble.
Near the 23, and this break goes to Beaver.
I'm just going to grin. I'm calling them, and I'll tell you what, if they go either way, this could be one wild and woolly football game. One of the great reasons that Friday nights are terrific here on Channel 66, John. Man, unbelievable, huh?
It is. Wisner with the fumble, the ball at the 23-yard line. It's 1st and 10. 1:15 to play in the opening quarter. Neither quarterback has thrown a pass. Mullen will not. He goes to Swartz. Still on his feet. He leans inside the 20 down to about the 19-yard line. He was fighting hard. Coming in to make the tackle was Nick Cheeto, one of the defensive ends. Let's give him 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 20. Inside the final minute of the opening quarter, and this one has moved right along, has it not?
It has indeed, but I'll tell you what, John, this is crucial now. Inside the red zone last week, Beaver failed to convert on 3 different occasions. They must do it here in order to prove to themselves that they can indeed be a competitive football team. This is crucial.
Jake Bevington joins this power I formation. The option play, and the quarterback keeps it down to about the 15 is Jeff Mullen. He was drilled when he got down to the 15. Adam Smith, one of the linebackers, making the hit on him. It'll be 3rd and 2.
John, Jeff Mullen must have taken dancing lessons over there to cut through that line, and I'll tell you what, if he does that too many more times, the old green and yellow won't have much to cheer about tonight.
That's going to do it for the first quarter of play. After the first 12 minutes tonight at Blackhawk, the Cougars in this cap fight are leading the Bobcats 6-0.
A home. The people at City Crestwood have been making this dream come true for over 25 years. Whatever your real estate needs, buying or selling, City Crestwood is committed to personalized service. Call for a free home market analysis today.
Life is about commitment. Susan Soley is committed to graduating from culinary school.
By graduating, I'll have a degree in restaurant management, and I'll be able to pursue my career in that.
Susan had one obstacle.
I was concerned when I started school that I wouldn't be able to pay for it.
Ron Klink believes in commitments. He gave his congressional pay raise back to the people by establishing the Ron Klink Technical Scholarship, so students like Susan can keep their commitments.
Thank you, Congressman Klink, for the money. It really helped to pay for my schooling.
Pennsylvania's mountains are coming alive with their fall colors, and the best place to enjoy them is Hidden Valley Four Seasons Resort. The majestic views and relaxing atmosphere of Hidden Valley add up to the perfect fall getaway, and at a special price. For just $99 per night, you can enjoy a deluxe suite with fireplace and have access to Hidden Valley Sports Club. Plus, there's fine dining, golf, biking, swimming, tennis, and more. Call Hidden Valley toll-free for reservations for your fall getaway, and be sure to ask about the Classic Car Weekend, October 14th through the 16th.
A home. The people at City Crestwood have been making this dream come true for over 25 years. Whatever your real estate needs, buying or selling, City Crestwood is committed to personalized service. Call for a free home market analysis today.
We welcome you back with 11:42 remaining in the first half. We're going to have a measurement after a short running play as the Bobcats trying to power it down for the first down. They're very close. They needed to reach the 13-yard line.
John, they are short by literally 2.5 inches. It's very, very close.
It'll be 4th and inches, and I think this time you'll see them go for it. They elected not to on a 4th down and short at midfield, but near the 13-yard line, they will definitely go for it here as Thiessen comes off.
Hey, John, is that your idea of a prediction? 4th and inches on the, and you're inside the enemy 15, and you're... Good call, John. Very good call.
Keith, I'm leaving you to the prediction business.
Okay.
You've got a handle on that. Schwartz into the line. He's got a first down near the 10-yard line.
John, do you think he has a little getting even to do for the ball he dropped that led to the score? I think he's just a little fired up.
I think that would certainly be on the young man's mind.
Yep.
He has provided much of their offense in the early part of the season, averaging 108.8 yards per game and 5.3 yards per carry. And this team has only scored 7 touchdowns. He's got 4 of them. There's the pitch inside the 10, down near the 7-yard line. Boy, he was belted by Chad Visner.
You know, Jeff Mullen let go of that ball at the last possible nanosecond, just as he was hit, and flipped it out just in time to keep that play from being a loss. Instead, they picked up another, looks like 3.5.
Let's call it 2nd down and 6 for the touchdown. Once again, Jake Bevington joins this power I formation. King, the fullback. This is Schwartz. He'll try to go outside, turns it around the corner, leans down toward that goal line. Bumped out of bounds near the 2-yard line on the play. Hit over there by Mike Lansbury, leading the defensive charge. He'll be short of the touchdown. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.
Remember earlier what I said about being cold and maybe the crowd being out of it? Listen to the Beaver fans. They're getting into it, and this could indeed help make a difference in this game. Not to mention that point after, huh?
Yes.
course, they don't have the touchdown yet, and
Not yet.
I don't know if I want to make that prediction just yet.
Paul Thiessen joins Morrow as the two ends, and Schwartz is drilled for a loss. He was just stiffened up as he hit into the center of that line, and Adam Aquino, number 51, was right there along with Harry Romai, all 300 pounds of that senior along the defensive line.
Well, you talk about trying to get between a rock and a hard place. It's just ouch, ooh, bang. He's down like a sack of dead potatoes. Nobody is going to go through the middle of that line, as jammed up as it was. Terrific defensive effort by the Blackhawk Cougars.
Now it's 4th down. That's Morrow in motion. They'll run the option play our direction. Taylor hit and drilled. They held him. Good job by Boo Taylor and Chad Wisner coming up to make the hit. Taylor and Wisner with the hit. They hold on 4th down. Matter of fact, they dropped him for a loss back to the 7-yard line.
Well, that's almost like an offensive play. Look at Boo Taylor. Holy cow. They moved. It's just unbelievable. And the intensity, and of course, that's the kind of enthusiasm they need to stop them at the door, keep those goose eggs alive. Remember, they had 4 quarters worth last week.
1st down, 10 at the 7. That was Adam Smith, the linebacker, number 40, that gave a helping hand. And you see why Taylor is considered a Division I prospect defensively, as King runs the football out beyond the 10 to the 11, a gain of about 4. Be 2nd down and 6. And schools like Pitt, Penn State have all been talking to Boo Taylor.
Well,
Hamilton seems to be pretty calm right now.
Covering that lateral pursuit is so important, and when you're a cornerback, you've got to be thinking. It helps Boo Taylor as a tailback because he sees it. He might know how to work it.
This is King following Taylor and leaning in to make the hit as he got close to the 15-yard line. Was Josh Kisling. We'll check it. That's Meyer. Myers, number 44. I'll get my 44s crossed up. Both of our fullbacks wear number 44. This is 3rd and 2. With Jeremy Myers trying to follow the lead block of Taylor that time. And you see Steve Wetzel, the senior, checking back into the lineup. Football is a big tradition here at Blackhawk Northwestern Stadium. This was the site of the old Northwestern High School. 3rd and a couple. Long count. Myers leaning for a possible 1st down. Josh Grove, the linebacker, made the tackle, and we'll see if this one is close enough for a measurement. Nope, it is a 1st down. 1st down and 10. Football near the 18-yard line. Needed 2, got 3. All running plays so far, Keith.
Yeah, and I think my impression is, I'll make another prediction. We're going to see another one, and my guess is it'll be a pitch sweep to one side or the other. I'll call it right side, but I could be off there. Just look for that, and just they're going to work that outside.
They're coming your way.
There you go. Oh, look at him move. Boo Taylor.
Ridden down by Sean Quigley.
Boo Taylor right in the middle of everything. He's got his nose everywhere. Bang. You can put 9 guys on top of him. It's going to take that to stop him. Such intensity coming over here to pick it up. Watch the call. I've made it. Here it comes. Like a freight train out of control. Great name too, huh? Boo Taylor. I think he puts a scare into defenses as he rambles right down. Here we go. That's the gain. Blackhawk out there ready to go. 2nd and 3rd, John.
Ball at the 25, Keith. Out of the I formation this time. Taylor diving across the 30 for another 1st down. Taylor able to leap up that time and dive for the 1st in the arms of Frank Kuzar, number 88, the defensive end, a junior.
You go right back to the great player because maybe they're not looking for him, but he comes in and watch the leap. That gets him an extra 2 yards easily, John. And I'll tell you what, that's almost something you can't teach. It's almost instinctive.
Marsilio is split to the left. Wisner is split to the right. They'll work out of the eye. There's the first pass, and it's incomplete. Slipping and falling down was Marsilio. Steve Wetzel's first attempt of the night goes for naught. 2nd down and 10.
I have to say, I was very impressed with Wetzel's arm on that one. That was quite the bullet, and I'm not sure why the slippage, maybe a little eager and a little too quick on the turn. There was nothing wrong with the pass.
Well, the pass was behind him, though. He slipped trying to stop and go back to get the football. That's what happened to him.
Good. Thanks, John. I could not see that from my angle.
6:03 remaining in the first half. Wisner split wide left. Marsilio split wide right. Passing formation. Draw play up the middle. Taylor tripped up, and a penalty is going to be thrown. The tackle was made by Brody Patton.
Now they're pointing at the interior. We could have a hold on this one, or maybe some type of a tripping call.
I think it might be a hold on Jason Vale, number 74.
Yeah.
The starting center. He was out in front of that play trying to block, and the Cougars are backing off, so the penalty is going to go against Blackhawk. Depends on the spot. It'll be a 10-yard penalty.
Okay, John, of course, keeping track of all of this progress is very important, and I have with me, your name is?
Julie Willis.
Okay, and your name is?
Laura Weaver.
Hey, Laura, what kind of stats are you keeping for the Blackhawks?
I'm keeping first downs, fumbles, and penalties, and returns.
Okay, and they're all positive right at this moment.
Definitely.
All righty, and how about on your side?
I'm keeping rushing.
Best looking stat keepers going, John. Maybe I'll spend the rest of the game here.
That wouldn't surprise me at all, Chief. Penalty winds up being 7 yards. It's 2nd and 17. A little razzle-dazzle just out of the reach of Matt Marsilio, but he was wide open. They handed it to Taylor, went back to Wetzel, and then they looked deep, and he was wide open. But the pass just out of the reach of the senior Matt Marsilio. 3rd and 17.
Watch the fake and the move inside. Unbelievable. Everybody was fooled, officials, but there goes Basilio. He's off to the races, and it's this close that he misses, and maybe that close, but whatever, that could have been 6.
It would have taken a great effort by Marsilio. The ball just grazing his fingertips. This is a passing formation. Wetzel throwing deep down the middle. That'll be pass interference. Chad Wisner was hit trying to get downfield, and it was Sean Quigley who got tangled up with him. That will cost him some yardage.
Well, that play speaks for itself. He was off like a bullet right down the middle, and the defenders with him. You just plain can't do it, especially in front of 2 guys with the zebra shirts. You know, and penalties, we talked about turnovers earlier on, John. The penalties could become very costly, and I'll tell you what, you don't want to give a team like the Blackhawk Cougars, with everything that they have in their offensive arsenal, you don't want to give them too many breaks. They don't need much help, you know?
It is going to be an automatic first down. They'll mark off the yardage.
Yep.
Bring it all the way out to the 38 with the 15-yard march off. And it becomes a 1st and 10. So a break, a big break that time for the Cougars with 5.5 minutes remaining in the opening half. Along with Keith James, I'm John Sanders. Great to have you with us tonight on Channel 66 for our Friday night game of the week and a look at the 3-time defending champions, the Cougars of Blackhawk. Sweeping out of the I formation, Taylor. Outside, he's got room, 50, 45, it's a foot race, and he's dragged down from behind. It took Jason Barnes, was the last man with a shot to get him. He does at the 30-yard line. 32-yard pickup.
John, there is no question that this guy's going to play some Division I football, I believe. Look at this. He knows what he needs to do, wants to do, and is going to do. Takes a great defensive effort, really, to get him. I could have been 6 very easily.
He was dragged down by Jason Barnes. It's at the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Wisner comes to this side. They work out of the I formation. Marsilio split wide right. It's Taylor. 5, almost 10 yards on the play. He's down to the 20 and should have another first down. Taylor that time ran right into Brian Botsko, but when he's making the tackles, they're getting big yardage, and that's what happened there. It is just short of the first down.
Let me give some credit to the interior lineman, particularly number 76, Harry Romai. He is helping win the battle inside. That is what's giving him the room to run, a key.
2nd and short, 4.5 minutes remaining in the half. Here's Taylor, a block from Myers. He's dragged down at the 16-yard line. That should be enough for another first down. Frank Kuzar, number 88, coming over to make the hit on the play.
Look at the moves that Taylor has. And again, you don't really coach these things. They kind of happen. But he's jigging left and right as he's moving ahead full speed. We've seen some great running backs come out of Western Pennsylvania high school football and do that very same thing and go on to great pro careers, not to mention colleges.
59 yards rushing so far for the man with the football. Not able to completely get away. A flag goes down. He was hit by Brody Patton in the backfield. Shook loose from that tackle, but then everybody else rushing up to fill on the play, including Frank Kuzar, and this one is dropped for a loss.
Great penetration by Brody Patton, and I'll tell you, if he could have maintained his own balance, I think he definitely would have made the tackle back there. The flag, I'm mystified, John. It's behind him. No, there we go. It's a hold.
It is holding. This one will be moved back.
John, I have with me on the sidelines several of the cheerleaders for Blackhawk. We get them turned around to the camera. The camera's over there, ladies, okay? And I'll tell you how here's the deal here. They're angry enough, these Cougarettes, if you will, are going to roar. I might be worried if I were Beaver.
The football, Keith, is going to wind up at the 32-yard line. So it's first down and 26 to go. Myers somehow stays on his feet, gets inside the 30 down to the 26. He gets 6 of them back. It's going to be second down and 20. 3:30 remaining in the opening half. 6-0 lead for the Cougars, who have the football.
Well, I'll tell you what, you talk about individual effort. Maybe he's getting inspired a little bit by Boo, because he just doesn't want to go down. An extra yard or two here or there is going to help. And I'll tell you, the Beaver defense is looking a little tougher now with a flag going their way. They've got to be.
Second down play. Here comes Taylor on the inside handoff. He's back to the 20-yard line. Well, Taylor coming back again.
Out in front of him, number 57, Dave Dean. Short, stocky, strong, mean, out there clearing the way, trying to poke a hole in the Beaver defensive line and doing a good job. Boo Taylor taking advantage of it.
Mark King, who's also the fullback, number 44, made the tackle. And a timeout comes with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the half. It is third down. The ball is at the 20-yard line. So it's third down and about 14.
Hey, John, got a special treat from the cheerleaders of Blackhawk. They have a very special cheer. All right, ladies, you all set during the timeout? You got that, John?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll write it down for you if you want.
Thanks to our friends. We remind you, our game next week, Riverside undefeated at center. Center off to a 3-1 start. The Riverside team was 11-2 last year. Junior running back Mike Thompson has already reeled off 3 100-yard games this year for the Panthers. And for center, junior Tony Thompson, who rushed for 922 yards as a sophomore, and senior Brian Hannon both rushed for over 100 yards last week for Coach Don Phillips' Trojans. So that's the game next Friday night, 10 o'clock, followed by the Saturday 9 a.m. and Saturday 7 p.m. replays. Third down at 14. A passing formation. Myers is the only back left in the backfield. Overthrown and incomplete. Taylor was wide open about the 5-yard line, had only Mark King to beat, and the pass was too tall. Fourth down.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what made that play, what unmade that play, John. Number 22, Lee Schwartz, firing in from that outside cornerback position, blitzing, and really, I'll tell you what, he had Wetzel in his sights, and Wetzel knew it. That really made a difference in that play.
They will not go for a kick on 4th down. 2 minutes, 36 seconds left in the half. It's 4th and 14. Wetzel with time, now feels some pressure, rolls, open, trying to get outside. He won't be able to get away from King, who drags him down with help from Schwartz right along the line of scrimmage. The Cougars will turn it back over to the Bobcats with 2:24 left in the first half.
John, you watch it. I'll tell you what, credit now to the Beaver defense doing the job on coverage downfield. Wetzel's got a look, starts to move. Now, right as the pursuit starts to close in on him, and he comes to the sideline. Boo Taylor is open right at the goal line. Wetzel can't get to him because of the defensive pursuit of the Beaver Bobcats.
Did not have time to make that play. The Bobcats now will bring out Jeff Mullen, their quarterback, line up in the power I formation with King, Schwartz, and this is Botsko in motion. They look to him, throw to him, he's got it. Hit as he gets across the 15 to near the 17-yard line. Coming up was Chad Wisner to make the hit. Excuse me, we're at the 27-yard line, not the 17. Pickup of 7 to the 27. It'll be 2nd down and 3. It is homecoming tonight for the Cougars of Blackhawk.
You know who I get to talk to at halftime, don't you?
I think I could guess.
The homecoming queens.
You get all the good duty, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I know it. Brian Botsko split wide to the right. Schwartz following King. Got away from one tackler and picks up a first down. Good effort that time to pick up the first down. It finally took Harry Romai roaming along the line to make the tackle, but he's out to the 33 for a 1st and 10, a 6-yard pickup.
Good interior work by the Beaver lineman, and of course the play moving to the left side. Schwartz sees the hole, and again, I still say he has that fumble in his mind. He's going to atone. That helps. That's part of it right there, John.
12 carries, 37 yards, so he's finding the yardage a little tougher than it has been in his first 4 games. You see Thiessen being brought back in, tight along the line. Botsko in motion. Flags are everywhere. This is probably a procedure penalty. They're going to try to go long. The coverage is there. Boo Taylor was all over Brian Botsko.
Now, Boo Taylor is going to have a tough time when he gets to college because he's got to go one way or the other, offense or defense. He's so skilled both ways, and you're right, he was there, but it was immaterial with the flag behind the play. Now there's some discussion going on.
It's going to be a 5-yard penalty against Beaver. They had a man in motion.
Illegal motion on the offense is declined. 2nd down.
All right, deep in their territory, they'll take the incomplete pass, leave the ball where it is at the 33, and make it 2nd down and 10. Jeff Mullen has checked in with his coaching staff, ready to go. What a great career for Pat Darquinio. 36 years of coaching, 29 at Beaver. This is Schwartz behind King with room. Powers his way for a 1st down. Wisner came up to make a hit on him, but he just drove him backwards and picks up good yardage. That should be enough for another Beaver 1st down.
A tip of the hat once again to the Beaver line. George Thomas over there and fellas like that. They're just really whacking it out. I'll tell you what, these kids, again, they got some bulk, and the big thing is the strength program. You know, they're pumping so much iron, they're so strong. Then they get a little pumped up with a game like this when they're down by 6 headed towards halftime. Really makes them hit harder. It's a scary thought, I think.
Headed for halftime's right, Keith, because we have 46 seconds remaining in the opening half. See if the Bobcats with Jeff Mullen try to open it up. There are Cougars everywhere. Jeremy Myers leading the way. All kinds of defensive pursuit on that play, and no chance for Schwartz to make his move. Keith Kimbrough, number 74, leading the charge for Blackhawks defense.
Kimbrough is not a small child either. I mean, whew. And he's just one of several that were after him, huh?
Loss of 4. Keith pushes it all the way back to the 40. 2nd down and 14 with 34 seconds. And we have a wrong number up here. Jason Vale is number 74. We had him as 67, but he is the center, and he's number 74, and making a good defensive play there. So we've got that number situation straightened out. We want to thank D&G Rentals for providing production assistance for tonight's game. D&G Rentals is your grand rental station in Beaver Falls. They feature a complete line of floor installation and maintenance equipment. Give the rental pros at D&G Rentals a call at 843-5500 for all of your rental needs. And we certainly appreciate their help every Friday night.
John, that timeout was so important. With even only 34 seconds left, Pat Tarquinio came out on the field himself. That whistles. And once again, we go back, you know, just you were talking about the testimony of Pat being a part of this game for so long. I don't see any end in sight, do you?
No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, when you look at this game, it is a matchup of two of the winningest coaches in Beaver County. Pat Tarquinio, 36th season as a head coach, 243 Beaver County wins. That is #1 all time. Hamilton, meantime, is in his 19th year at Blackhawk, 29 years as a head coach. He is second in wins, 197. The pass is complete. Then they hand it to Schwartz. This worked for a touchdown earlier. It will not be quite as successful this time.
Well, Blackhawk wants a timeout here. John, you'll have to help me on this one. I didn't see the play clearly.
Well, they went with a quick pass to Sean Morrow, and then they had Lee Schwartz sweeping around. This play, as I said, did work for a touchdown earlier this year, but no such luck tonight. It's dropped back at about the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down. Still 19 to go at the 35-yard line. We mentioned Joe Hamilton, the Cougars, the 3-time defending Class AAA champions. His record, 197 wins, 96 losses, and 9 ties.
Now, obviously, he felt that despite the fact there's just a few seconds left in the clock, that this is important. They try and get the football. He called timeout before the play really had stopped. So he's got something in mind.
He wants the football.
I think he does, and I think he believes he can do something with it. And I'll tell you what, John, if he could, you know, imagine they pull off one of those pass plays or something like that, and they go to the locker room at halftime up by a couple of touchdowns. I mean, what a major difference that would make.
You're right. They have been close. We'd like to remind you, if you'd like a videotape copy of tonight's Beaver Blackhawk game, they're available for $19.95. Call the video house at 921-7577. 3rd and long. And you see right there, to make the tackle and call time once again, Nick Cheeto, #7, leading that defense from his defensive line spot. The football is back inside the 35 at the 34. It's 4th down and about 20, and they will, with 18 seconds left, get the football. They should have one timeout remaining, right?
John, I believe they do not. No, I don't believe Blackhawk has a single timeout left. That'll certainly change the picture of what they need to do, that's for sure. Of course, on the other hand, those championships didn't happen for Joe Hamilton by just sitting around and letting the clock run either.
That's for sure. Jason Barnes will be kicking. Boo Taylor and Chad Wisner are deep. That's Chad. He has the only touchdown of the night. Came with about 4 minutes left in the opening quarter. There's Taylor, a two-way starter and an outstanding player.
A rocket punt.
Kick is low and out of bounds. 12 seconds remain on the clock, and that will give the Cougars the chance to air it out if they choose in the final 12 seconds. We'll see what Steve Wetzel can do.
You don't suppose he'll go to the air, do you?
I wouldn't be surprised. See what kind of a formation they come out in. He's over talking to his head coach. He'll be appearing in your picture momentarily. There he comes, the 6'2", 180-pound senior.
He's gonna wear out shoes by going back and forth to the sidelines, but I'll tell you what, his effectiveness makes it worthwhile, I suppose. Let the shoe leather go.
That's Taylor in motion. Straight drop, sets, looks long down the middle. Now he's pressured from behind. He's going to be sacked.
Boom.
Down he goes. Matt Hummel back inside the 30 near the 29-yard line. Made the hit. And there is Frank Kuzar. You saw a big sack he had last week. That is the final play of the opening half. And as always, here on Channel 66, we'll have complete halftime coverage of homecoming at Blackhawk when we come back. It's Blackhawk leading Beaver 6-0.
For golfers everywhere, it's the best golf package of the year at Hidden Valley Four Seasons Resort. $79 a person gives you unlimited golf on one of America's most beautiful and challenging courses, the top-rated resort course in Pennsylvania. Hidden Valley is a magnificently challenging, scenically dramatic course of exceptional character. The low rate includes unlimited golf, superb accommodations, sports club, tennis, and all of the amenities of Hidden Valley's 2,000-acre resort. Space is limited, so make your reservations now.
High school football has a long and rich tradition in Beaver County, and WBGN Channel 66 is proud to be the only station in the area to bring you complete full game coverage along with the bands at halftime. If you would be interested in advertising on our program, we have a number for you to call. It's 922-9576. Join us on Channel 66 for coverage of Beaver County high school football.
Jobs are Ron Klink's #1 priority. A labor stoppage threatened 200 existing jobs at Taylor Dairy. Ron Klink worked with the union and management to keep the milk flowing.
Congressman Klink really was instrumental in saving 200 jobs here at Taylor Milk Company, management and union employees, and we really take our hats off to him for stepping in and helping our work stoppage situation.
Credibility, commitment, a congressman who works hard to keep Pennsylvanians working, Congressman Ron Klink.
Thanks, Ron!
A home. The people at City Crestwood have been making this dream come true for over 25 years. Whatever your real estate needs, buying or selling, City Crestwood is committed to personalized service. Call for a free home market analysis today.
This is WBGN TV, Channel 66, Beaver County.
Halftime here with a score 6-0, and the Blackhawk Cougars in the lead. With me is Cougar head coach Joe Hamilton. But you're not smiling, Joe. Your comment to me right before we came off the commercial was you're not happy. You don't think you're playing that well?
Well, we're not playing well. You know, we know we're coming in this game. It's going to be a tough game, and everybody's sitting there, you're big favorites. And so your kids get a little lackadaisical. Give Beaver credit. They're playing very well out there. But you get a fumble here, and you get a few penalties, and it's killing us. And it comes down to concentration. So, yeah, I'm not real happy right now.
Could that be the fact that they won so big last week? A little bit of a letdown? They think it's too easy?
No, well, I don't think so. I think it's just a matter of sometimes too many people talk around and maybe get a little fat-headed about that. And you can't afford to get fat-headed when you go against a good football team like Beaver in a big rivalry.
But, you know, you do something special with your team for team unity in the preseason. Tell the audience about the stay over in the gym, please.
Well, we just found it was very easy to stay at camp at the gym. The kids bring their cots in and stay right there, and the parents get involved, and they come in and help cook, and they furnish snacks for the kids, and we just have everything right there. But I think the main thing is that we're looking for it. Our team grows together as a family, live together, sleep together, eat together, and play well together. So that's why we do that.
And Joe, I think it must be working, because that formula is, I see some championships there, maybe another one. Thanks so much. I know you have work to do here in the locker room at halftime, and we'll see you in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, Joe Hamilton right there, head coach. You heard him, John. He's not necessarily happy. He'll go in and have a few things to say to the team. Beaver's got a few things to say. Pat Tarquinio's been in this situation before, and we've been in this situation before, John, where we will enjoy right now a little bit of this fine music and this high stepping from the Beaver Bobcat Marching Band.
The band closes tonight's show with the beautiful theme from Ice Castles, Through the Eyes of Love.
As we get ready to listen to the Beaver Bobcat Marching Band play The Eyes of Love, joining me on the sidelines is their band director, Mr. Chuck Ullman. Thanks for joining us, Chuck. How long have you been band director?
I was band director for 9 years and taught in elementary for 3 and then came back for 4. So this is my 13th at the high school.
13. Lucky 13, I suppose.
I hope.
Indeed. They're smooth, they're coordinated, and the chorus line routine. Where do those ideas come from? Do the kids contribute?
They give me ideas when I ask for them. For instance, we did a percussion feature last week, and a couple weeks ago I threw the idea out to them that they could help with the ideas. So they gave me a couple ideas which we used last week.
Let me ask you about this kind of stuff that's right over here. This young lady, this really adds to the flavor of high school football. Where does all this come from?
What do you mean, the ideas or the material?
All of it.
The flags can come from a number of places, and they're usually nylon or some kind of man-made material.
How about the money to get them?
The school pays for them.
A lot of hard work involved there.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Fundraisers and good fun for the band, and I'll tell you what, I think the results are there. The audience tonight enjoying it.
I hope so. We tried.
Indeed, and we will enjoy it as well as halftime continues here on Channel 66. That doesn't mean our halftime is done, gang, here on Channel 66. No. We've got lots more. Of course, we have the Blackhawk Cougar Marching Band coming up in just a second. But before we do that, there's a nice young lady here joining me here on the sidelines, and her name is Jill Hummer, and she is the homecoming queen, beaming and radiant and happy. Your football team's ahead too, Jill.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that.
Tell me how it feels to be chosen homecoming queen.
I'm very honored. This is a very exciting night for me, and I'd like to thank everyone for electing me as their homecoming queen.
How about your court? You had a very good-looking court, too. Can you name those young ladies for us?
The crown bearer was Kelly Vagloski, and the 3 attendants were Sarah Humphrey, Trisha Adele, and Casey Snyder.
All righty. Now let's talk a little bit about you. What are you looking at majoring in? You're looking at going on to college, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay.
A 4-year college that I haven't yet decided, and I want to go for a bachelor degree in occupational therapy.
Wonderful. How about this escort of yours, too? There's a guy we don't want to leave out coming right on in here, the escort for the evening, and your name is?
Steve Dickinson.
All right, Steve, now, how do you manage to get the job of being escort to the queen?
Well, once she found out that she was going to be in the homecoming court, she asked me at lunch one day, and I got up the nerve to say yeah.
All righty. And was it a tough choice?
No, not at all.
All righty, indeed. And if you will, indeed, please take a look at how beautiful. She puts the roses to shame. I want you to know that. Wonderful. Congratulations. And we look forward to, I guess, you and the rest of the court and the fans rooting your team on. We'll see what happens, though. Good game, huh?
Yeah, very good. Exciting.
All right.
It's probably our closest game of the season so far.
So far, I would say it is indeed. Jill Hummer, the lovely queen of the homecoming here, 1994 style for the Blackhawk Cougars. Thanks again and congratulations.
Thank you.
All righty, and now it's the Blackhawk Cougar Marching Band. Let's listen. Yabba Dabba Doo. A good hand for the Blackhawk Cougar Marching Band, and a very topical situation for them as their band director, Bob Barthen, joins me here on the sidelines. Bob, very topical song, The Flintstones.
Oh, yeah, it was popular this year as a movie, so we decided to go ahead and try it for a halftime show.
I hate to say it was popular when we were kids, but for different reasons.
The TV, right from the TV show. This is our second show, by the way. We have our main show we do. We're doing The Wizard of Oz this year also.
Really?
Yeah, so that's our competition show and festival show.
Now, speaking of competition, there is a little competition coming up in, what, a couple of weeks?
Yeah, we're having our Blackhawk Band Festival October 15th, and we have 11 area bands coming in for that.
And that will be where?
Right here at Northwestern, 7 o'clock.
Wow, how many bands?
11.
11 bands, and of course, one of them will be
Blackhawk, of course.
All right, we'll see what they do, and good luck, and we'll see you with the Wizard of Oz.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you, there you go. And of course, more wizardry on the field here at halftime. Channel 66 bringing you Friday night goodies, and voila, the Blackhawk Cougar Marching Band. That's halftime, and I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to march on out of here, but John will have some stats for you.
It's now time to get out your red tickets for the stadium blanket. This is being sponsored by...
The problem.
I ran into a business problem, and I couldn't resolve it myself. I've called accountants, lawyers, and everything, and couldn't get any help from them.
The solution.
One of my accountants suggested, why don't you try your congressman? As soon as I made that phone call, he was right on it, called me right back, and contacted the people that he had to contact to help resolve this, and he did the job.
The congressman.
And I have Congressman Klink to thank for that.
High school football has a long and rich tradition in Beaver County, and WBGN Channel 66 is proud to be the only station in the area to bring you complete full game coverage along with the bands at halftime. If you would be interested in advertising on our program, we have a number for you to call. It's 922-9576. Join us on Channel 66 for coverage of Beaver County high school football.
Pennsylvania's mountains are coming alive with their fall colors, and the best place to enjoy them is Hidden Valley Four Seasons Resort. The majestic views and relaxing atmosphere of Hidden Valley add up to the perfect fall getaway, and at a special price. For just $99 per night, you can enjoy a deluxe suite with fireplace and have access to Hidden Valley Sports Club. Plus, there's fine dining, golf, biking, swimming, tennis, and more. Call Hidden Valley toll-free for reservations for your fall getaway, and be sure to ask about the Classic Car Weekend, October 14th through the 16th.
A home. The people at City Crestwood have been making this dream come true for over 25 years. Whatever your real estate needs, buying or selling, City Crestwood is committed to personalized service. Call for a free home market analysis today.
This is WBGN TV, Channel 66, Beaver County.